Hello and welcome to Easy Gluten Free. Today we're going to start with a basic thick cut pork chop and turn it into a dish of luxury with an Italian inspired filling of garlicky kale, apricots, and pumpkin seeds that really should be pine nuts. But hey, you gotta use what you've got, right? Okay, now to make this luxurious looking dish, I'm starting out with about a 1 pound center cut boneless pork roast. And I like to trim off about half the fat so that there's no more than about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch thickness in any one spot. Then I cut it in half to make 2 8-ounce pork chops that are just over 1 inch thick. This needs to be thick so it doesn't dry out. Now take each chop and using a sharp knife, starting at the edge with the fat, slice them open almost to the other side, but be careful not to slice through. And this will give you plenty of room for the filling. Now to make that filling, and what I'm demonstrating here is actually enough for 4 chops, I've got 10 dried apricots that I soaked in some warm water for a few minutes, drained, then using a scissors, chopped them into small pieces slightly larger than raisins. And I've got about a half cup of pumpkin seeds that I'm toasting in a dry skillet over a medium heat to bring out a nuttier flavor. And if you've got pine nuts, it's even better in this dish. And when you're done, toss them in the bowl with the apricots. Now for the kale, start with a small bunch that you have rinsed. Strip the leaves from the stems, chop it into small pieces, and saute it with a little olive oil, 2 cloves of chopped garlic, and some salt and pepper. And after about 8 to 10 minutes, when the kale is wilted with a few crispy bits, add the greens to the bowl with the other stuffing ingredients. Then toss in 1 cup of fresh gluten-free breadcrumbs, about a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar or cider vinegar, 1 beaten egg, and a little salt and pepper to taste. Now stir it together until it's well combined. Then place 1/4 of the mixture into the center of each pork chop. But since I only made 2 pork chops today, I used the remaining filling in a quick quinoa side dish, made by cooking 1/2 cup of quinoa in chicken broth, according to the package instructions, then stirring in the extra pork chop filling during the last 5 minutes of its cook time. Stir in a little butter as you fluff it up, and you've got a nice complimentary side dish here. But back to those pork chops. Tie each one with 2 pieces of butcher's twine to make them more manageable. Sprinkle with salt and pepper. Then to cook these guys, in a cast iron skillet over a medium-high heat, add a tablespoon of olive oil and a tablespoon of butter. Add the pork chops to the pan and let them saute for 4 or 5 minutes on the first side. You want them to get that really golden brown seared crust here. Then carefully turn them over. And notice that I'm flipping them in a direction that has the filling facing up as I turn, so that the filling doesn't fall out. And immediately after turning them both, transfer the pan to a preheated oven for 15 to 20 minutes to finish cooking through completely. The bottom side's going to sear nicely in the hot pan while this finishes in the oven. And when it comes out, let it rest for 5 minutes before serving. And for a fancier presentation, you can slice it into 4 or 5 pieces, then fan them out on the plate. And this is a dish that the whole family's going to love. Actually, I'm lying through my teeth here, as my own daughter took one look at this and wanted to know why I felt the need to desecrate a perfectly good pork chop with all that junk. And she wouldn't go near the side dish, so I ended up making her some mashed potatoes. But hey, are you really going to deprive yourself of a gourmet meal like this just because your kid has a narrow palate? Not this time, folks. Tonight, we dine in luxury. And if you'd like to print a copy of today's easy stuffed pork chop recipe, you could always visit my blog at the link below. And for brand new recipes every week, and my next video is going to be those spicy peanut ribs to continue the pork theme, don't forget to subscribe. See you again soon.